You're listening to Success Stalkers Radio, Episode 1. Welcome to Success Stalkers Radio. I am your host, Ioana Garrett. People all over the globe are rewriting the rules to success. They're making money and changing the world. Join me Monday through Friday as I interview today's top entrepreneurs, business leaders, and entertainers that will leave you inspired to take action and achieve success on purpose. Are you ready? Let's dive right in. Okay, let's get started. I want to welcome you to the very first episode of Success Stalkers Radio. I'm your host, Ioana Garrett, and I am so excited that you took time today to join me as we launch Success Stalkers Radio. This radio show has been designed to spotlight the journeys of successful people, and I truly hope it will be something that can help you improve your life and help you reach more of your goals and your dreams. Oh, wow. I'm a bit overwhelmed because this has been a 5-year-long passion project of mine, and to finally see it all coming together is just really amazing. It's just amazing. And before I go any further, I have to thank God, because without Him, none of this would even be possible. He has allowed me this platform to speak before you, and I'm truly, truly humbled by His love for me. And I want to also thank some very special people in my life and my amazing Team Success Stalkers, who have been just outstanding. And I'm truly humbled and grateful by their kindness. They believed in me, they pushed me, encouraged me, even given their resources without question. And I could call any of them at any time, and they never turned me away. So to my sweet, sweet mother, Charlotte, and my amazing, amazing friends, Fred Fistzgiles, Larry and Jennifer Bracey, Terrence T-Bone Beach Johnson, D'Artagnan Sanders, Alexis Mosley, Bryce Haynes III, Robert Alexander, Janon Jackson, Samantha Pittman, Dejon James, and Pamela Higgins. I humbly say thank you. Thank you to you all. So today's episode will be a little different from what you can expect from the future episodes, because I wanted to just take some time today and give you a quick overview of our vision here at Success Stalkers Radio, as well as explain a little bit more about the community, and then I'll give a format of each show so you can learn what to expect in the future episodes. And then I want to tell you a little bit more about me so you can get to know me as your host. And then finally, I'll end with telling you how you can be more involved with the Success Stalkers community. So let's get started. So I wanted to share with you why I started this radio show before we get into the episodes with our amazing guests, because I want you to understand the vision and the power that I think Success Stalkers Radio can have. So what is a Success Stalker? Well, essentially, a success stalker is anyone who's extremely passionate, hungry, and who has an insane desire to achieve their success goals. Now, whether that's in business, career, or in life. So that's, in my opinion, that's our definition of a success stalker. So if that's you, you found the right community. Now, I know most of you may know that I'm an entrepreneur and a success stalker myself. I've owned several businesses in the past, from a salon to a boutique, several network marketing businesses, and now I actually co-own a learning center and daycare for kids with my beautiful mom and sister. And, I've just really had a love for business since the age of 13. It all began really when I was in junior high school. Woohoo! Shout out to William Pitcher Junior High. One of my favorite schools. Those are some good times. And so I just want to share a quick story about my first experience as an entrepreneur. I was raised by a single mom with 4 kids. She was on a teacher's assistant salary, and at that time, it really wasn't very much at all. But it seemed like my mom always made it work. Of course, we didn't always have the latest and greatest name brand, clothing and shoes and all that stuff like a lot of the other kids did. But she always made sure that we had what we needed. And so one day I can remember my sister coming home, and she was excited, and she asked my mom if she could be on the flag team at school. And, my mom said to her, I would love for you to, but I just don't have the money for it. And I could tell that it hurt her, and I could tell that it really hurt her to disappoint my sister. And of course, my sister was pretty heartbroken by it. And, I can remember just kind of sitting there, not really saying anything, but just listening to the two of them talk. But it really bothered me on the inside. So I just sat there trying to think of a way that I could help my sister not only get her uniform, but just some other ways that I could start to help my mom, financially, But, being that I was 13 years old, of course, I didn't have a job. But my mom always taught me to cook. She always taught me to cook and bake. And so I decided to do just that. So I asked my mom if I could help out by trying to, bake some cookies and some Rice Krispie treats and brownies and maybe take them to school and just sell them. And I remember her kind of chuckling, and she said, yes, you can, just don't get in trouble at school with it. And I said, okay. And, I can remember carrying this burgundy duffel bag and filling up with baked goods. And I'm telling you, I sold out every single day at school. I can't really remember how long I sold them, but I was able to make enough money to help my sister get a uniform and also help my mom a little too. I mean, it really blew me away every day to see how much all these kids wanted what I was selling. And of course, we had concessions at school and snacks, but what I was selling, they couldn't get. It was homemade. And, at one point I even convinced my mom to get other snacks from this local wholesale company called Francis Distributing, so I could sell some other things that we didn't have at school and in our school's concessions. And so as you can see, by that time I had gotten hooked, right? I remember even getting called by somebody, one of the kids at school. They called me Little Duffel Bag Girl because I always carried that burgundy duffel bag every day. But it didn't bother me. And you know what? It's actually going to be the title to one of my very first books that I plan to write soon. So, yeah. Basically, I learned about economics and free enterprise very, very early on. It was all about supply and demand. So back to my Success Stalkers passion project. Initially, 5 years ago, I created an online platform where people could set up profiles, they could network with each other and have forum discussions with the goal in mind, to just inspire each other and to motivate each other. That platform was very similar to Facebook, kind of. Some of you former Success Stalkers that's, probably listening may remember that site. That was fun. It was really fun. But quite honestly, there were still a lot of missing components, that I just didn't know how to all quite put them all together. And also during that time, I had aspirations to fly all over the country, interviewing successful people, to bring back information and knowledge to our community and just help to grow the Success Stalkers community. But of course, I wasn't in a financial position to do that, to fly all over the country and do that. So since I really couldn't understand, how to do it without breaking the bank or coming up with some creative idea or marketing strategy to fix it, I kind of subconsciously began to shelve the idea until later and went on to do a few other projects. And, fast forward 5 years later, here we are. And I was actually introduced to podcasting when I stumbled upon a podcast online of someone whom I now consider to be a mentor today. He was interviewing and having conversations with successful people. And that's when it hit me. I had that light bulb moment, that epiphany. Just wow. I had finally figured it out. I had finally found that missing component. Thus, Success Stalkers Radio Podcast was born. So here we are. And that's how this has come about today. And now you get to actually make history with us. So I'm excited about that. And I hope you are too. So, I want the Success Stalkers community to be a place where we can all grow and support each other, a place where, you can be inspired each and every single day. a place that you can just come here and get resources or just practical tips to help you grow in your business and your career. And not a place where you feel like you have to be part of some elite class of people in order to fit in. It's not going to be that kind of thing. I want it to be a place that you feel like there are other people with like minds like yourself who understand your journey. So that I hope you really receive a lot from this community, and not just receive, but I hope you contribute as well. If you find something that's working for you in your business or your life, share it with us. And, you can find us on Facebook, you can find us on Twitter, LinkedIn, and you can also leave comments on our webpage at successstalkers.com. So I really encourage you to get involved and engage with the community so that Success Stalkers can be a valuable source of information to help entrepreneurs and success-minded people everywhere. One of my biggest goals for you each day is that you can come away with an experience after every single episode and just say that, I can do one thing today that will help me be a better entrepreneur. I also want you to just be flat out excited and flat out inspired by our amazing guests we have lined up. And I'm telling you, we have everything from CEOs, realtors, business coaches, life coaches. We have actors and actresses, authors, film directors, professional athletes, real estate investors, to financial experts, and more, so much more. Some have even been featured in major publications like the Wall Street Journal, Inc. Magazine, Entrepreneur Magazine, and many, many more. And just some amazing people. They're just some amazing people that can help you with your journey. And I honestly have to say that I've already personally grown and began making some changes from the guests that I've already interviewed, of which you will be hearing from in the next few episodes. So, I've gotten golden nuggets and priceless tips to help me grow in my business. And I really hope that you'll be able to do the same, and that this community will challenge you to become one of your best tools, to becoming a better entrepreneur. So now that I've gone over the vision of Success Stalkers, I want to share with you the format that you can expect from each show. We are here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, because some of us like to listen to podcasts during our daily commute, or when we're working out at the gym, or just commuting to other activities. Because as an entrepreneur, we are always on the go. We're always doing something. So that's why I decided to have a 5-day-a-week format. And another reason is just because I've just come across so many amazing guests that it was just hard to do just a 1-day-a-week show. So I'll start off by introducing our guests and give a little information about their background, and then they will elaborate a little bit more after that. And then after the introduction, our guests will share their favorite success quote and how they've applied it to their journey. And these quotes are truly inspiring and will probably ignite you even more. Next, we'll dive right into our guest's journey, and they'll begin talking about some challenges or possible failure they experienced and how they overcame it. Then they'll tell us some lessons that they learned from it, because there is absolutely no reason to reinvent the wheel, right? Especially when someone has gone through something and they're willing to share it with you, how they overcame it. So again, there's no reason for us to go through that. So let's try to take the lessons that we're going to learn from our guests and apply it to our own lives before we have to be faced with those same challenges. Just makes sense, right? Then after that challenge moment, we will then move into what we call the light bulb moment, or those epiphany moments. Because most entrepreneurs who have created their business have all pretty much had those moments. And, I can assure you, these guests have all had those moments. They'll take us on a journey with them and tell us what led up to those moments, and then the actions they took following those light bulb moments and how they turned it into success today. Then we'll seamlessly move into our guest's daily business career, and we'll get details about their day-to-day activity and even touch upon their vision for the future, because this will give us a deeper dive into where they feel their particular industry is headed. At this point, we'll reach one of my favorite parts of the interview, which is what we call the success round. And the success round is a segment match of questions that dives deep into the mind of our guests to, extract those priceless nuggets of information that every entrepreneur wants to know, or should know? Some of those questions include, what was the number one thing that held you back from becoming an entrepreneur before you got started? Another question is, what is the best business advice you've ever received and who gave it to you? Another question, what is something that's working for you right now in your business? And also another question is, what is the best business book you've read that you can recommend to us? Now, one of the last questions in the success round is my favorite, and I ask our guests this. What if you woke up tomorrow morning in a brand new world, but identical to Earth, and your business disappeared, forcing you to start over from scratch? You still have all of the same knowledge and skills that you currently have today. Your food is taken care of, your shelter's taken care of, and you have only a laptop and only $500. What would you do in the next 7 days? Now, I think this question is a really good question because I think it'll give you some great insight because, as free as we entrepreneurs claim to be, we still have to devote most of our time and resources to the business that we're currently running. Because being a business owner or entrepreneur is pretty different from being an employee. I'm sure you would agree. Because you have to be sure that you can keep going in those times that it may get tough. And I assure you, it will get tough. Because being an entrepreneur is hard. It is hard. But hey, that's why it works. Because it's hard. Oftentimes we end up watching as ideas and opportunities pass us by. So I don't know, maybe you found yourself searching right now for that great idea and waiting to take action upon it. Who knows? One of our guests just might be able to help you take that leap to your next big idea. I know for most of you listening to this show, I would imagine that there's an entrepreneur living deep down inside of you that's probably ready to break out and take on the world. I know I certainly remember how I felt before I took that leap. And so I truly hope that all the episodes I produce each day will help to ignite the entrepreneur inside of you. So you can do it. We believe in you. I believe in you. So if you find value in this show and the message that we're trying to spread here at Success Stalkers Radio, then I want you to go to iTunes, subscribe to us, give us a rating, and hopefully a 5-star review. And if you're generous enough to do that, I am going to personally thank you by name on one of our upcoming future shows. Yep, I'm going to do that. So we've reached the end of this episode, but I know that you are going to love our next episode with Art Lewin. He's the founder and CEO of Executive Clothiers, one of the nation's top 25 custom clothiers, and his journey is just truly, truly incredible. I can't wait for you to hear it. I'm excited about you hearing his journey, and I'm excited about you just beginning your journey, and again, I want to thank you all for just taking time today to join me on this historical day as we launch Success Stalkers Radio. You can visit us at successstalkers.com to join the community, and remember to keep stalking success.